Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Yeah, you see this guy? I'm gonna have to deal with that guy. Because you see, I'm gonna be playing 100 days in this mod pack, full of fungal diseases and creepy monsters. Day zero. Day zero, I immediately told myself I needed to gather materials because this fungus spreads fast. I really needed to get stone tools as fast as possible so that way I can get iron eventually in the future as well. Now that I took way too long chopping that tree, I immediately crafted some sticks, a crafting table, and did my best to get as much stone tools as possible so that way I can hurry up and get the heck out of there. So having had gathered some wood, saplings, and gotten some wooden tools to go hurry up and mine this stone, I went to this little cave area which had tons of stone and coal. I saw a creepy silhouette and, well, creepers are a little bit scarier now. And also spiders are a little bit more realistic. I immediately started gathering coal so that way I can hurry up and make a torch so that way nothing creeped up behind me when I wasn't looking. Now having gathered enough stone for a stone pickaxe, shovel, and axe, and even a furnace so that way I can smelt some iron in the near future, I crafted my tools and harvested a little bit more stone just so that way I have enough materials to build my temporary base. As I was running through the forest chopping some wood for a base, I saw this weird stone tower. It was pretty interesting and it looked like it could have had some good loot in there, which it did, but I immediately ran in there considering that the sun was going down and day zero was about to turn into day one. But I forgot that powdered snow exists, so when I went to walk towards this mountain, I sunk deeper and deeper and deeper into the snow. Now having escaped my almost ice-cold coffin, I immediately gathered the wheat that was around because I felt that I was going to probably use it in the future. I looked for the entrance to this tower and I saw some pretty interesting stuff inside, I guess. Mainly this lantern, which I can put on my belt for an infinite light source so that way I don't have to hold a torch in my offhand. Now equipped with a lantern, I ascended the tower, taking all the iron nuggets, crafting benches, etc. from the rooms above, specifically an upgrade station and a blast furnace. Blast furnace at this age is pretty good, considering that we don't even have iron tools yet. It's going to allow us to smelt tools way faster. Now that I'm on the second floor, I immediately grabbed the anvil and the other few things that were around, and I found a bed, but, I thought I could sleep in the bed due to the fact that it was getting pretty dark, but I then realized that, you really can't, and the only reason I wasn't getting in the bed was because it was still daytime, and the message just doesn't appear because the day counter overrides the text on that little part right there. But having woken up, I then took the lantern and the bookcase. Having looted literally everything else, I went in the cellar because I haven't looted that yet and had some food, which I needed desperately. Ooh, that really hurt. Oh God. Bread. We don't have any other food. That's my main problem, is getting food. I can get tons of food from down here, but we got that skinny guy. That evil skinny person. That thing. That critter. Having crafted a hoe, I realized something. There's a spider spawner. And in those spawners are evil spirits that give you the withered mutation. And I just wanted my wheat, but I ended up dying from the evil spirit. My first death of the episode. Evil experience orb. Ah, they're evil. Ow, where? Evil experience orbs. Never thought I'd see something that like. This just really goes to show how fast I need to get in and get out. We should ditch the snowballs for this. Now, looting the area, I thought it'd be a good idea to hurry up and leave the tower after taking everything that was in these barrels and going to find a home. Not very far from that tower, I found a little clearing that I actually really liked quite a bit. So after I cleared out that clearing, no pun intended, I immediately started my construction process with my pine logs and cobblestone, and even some mossy cobble. Having a little tiny camp set up where I had stored most of my items at least, well, not yet, I realized one thing. I left my bed in that tower, which is guarded by creepy critters now, because every single night these weird skeleton guys spawn. Which means I needed to go in there and get out as fast as possible without any issues before night falls. Thankfully, nothing at all happened, so I was able to grab my bed successfully and place it down somewhere where I was going to easily be able to sleep, but also save enough room for me to be able to construct my beautiful base. So now that I have my respawn point set, I started placing some pine logs. And this is where we are going to cue the building montage. So, now having moving everything into my new shelter and completing my new shelter, geared up with a couple of materials I have such as food, beef, pork, and everything similar to that, I immediately went inside because I saw a multitude of mobs right outside my front door. Now, this base spot I was really going to regret building here, and you're going to end up seeing in the future, but I immediately kept trying to go to bed and also was extremely confused on why the message wouldn't pop up that there were monsters or anything. I did end up going to bed and waking up on day 3, sneaking out the back of my house to the fact that there was so many mobs in the front and I needed to place torches around it as fast as possible. I did also put windows while you guys were not looking, and I did get a little bit of iron and ended up smelting it. I did use iron ingots to craft most of it, however. But having not that much materials, I decided to go head out and get a bunch of materials so that way I can get more iron tools, so that way I can work my way up to diamond. I did enjoy the nice scenic route that I took, and this direction for some reason ended up being way laggier than any other direction specifically. But I did continue wandering, and eventually, well, not much happened. I did eventually find a little bit of iron though. I found a cave with a little bit of materials outside of it, and then I got blinded by a creeper. Watch. I just got flashed banged. After gathering my bearings, I went back into that cave just to see if I could find a little bit of iron and maybe some more coal so that way I can hurry up and smelt it all. I did find a lava stream in that cave that was blocking a couple veins of iron, but I had to use my small pea-sized brain just to figure out how to get this lava away from there, which I did. It was actually pretty simple. I gathered enough materials to block the entrance where the water was originally flowing through, making it another block high, allowing it to flow into the lava and down the stream. Having gotten rid of the evil lava with the good water, I found a medium to somewhat large sized vein, as well as a spider dungeon, which I could have farmed up, but you'll see why I didn't in the future, also probably because I broke that spawner, unfortunately. But I did get the iron I wanted. Having broken the spawner and gotten rid of the evil spirits, I did find an enchantment book and a couple of seed types, bones for bone meal, a disc, and a bucket, which I was going to need pretty early on, and you'll see why soon. I also found 2 golden apples, which is really good considering how early I am in the game. I also found a second enchantment book, some bread, and that was overall really it, despite having a now recently claimed jukebox. I got lost in the cave. I did have plenty of iron, but my pickaxe was about to break and I didn't know where to go. But I did come across something interesting. And I think you guys should take a look. I am frozen with fear. What did I just find? What do you mean quest completed? What quest? Find an abandoned bunker. A bunker? My pickaxe is kinda gone. I'll just get into the glass. What is this? Nether wart. Alright guys, already having nether wart on just day 3 and tons of it too, around a stack and a half. I decided to descend deeper into this facility where I deeply regretted it, and you will see why right now actually. Something is coming. It's officially day 4. I don't know what's hunting me, but something. What are those things? That's right. This facility was coated in those mutants. The first time I have ever seen a mutant in this entire episode was on day 4. I'd been in this cave for a whole day and just now found out that there was mutants directly under my base. Having the guts to do so, I went deeper into the facility, found a spawner that I didn't trust, and decided to go in this thing instead, where a weird horse creature attacked me. And I think his name is Peter. This is why. Now, I'm just kidding, of course. His name isn't Peter, but I did get an achievement called Peter the Horse is Here, which is a nice little reference to a nice little meme. But I walked in this red dust that flew everywhere, and it gave me the disease. For a short amount of time, yes, but that still means that I can spread it. I thought these things would be easy to kill, so when I heard another one in here, I was deeply mistaken. What is that? It happened so fast that my voice went high-pitched. I couldn't even process. There came flying mutants that one-shot me. And this gave me a big eye-opening experience, because this means I need to hurry and get diamond as fast as possible, because I am weak right now. Having smelted the 33 iron I had, and also using the other 11 iron I had, I got myself a full set of iron tools and almost a full set of iron armor. But then I saw it. The first stages of the world being taken over. It's just water. Whatever. Where's the sun? Oh, it's literally in front of me. Hey man, that's not very nice. leather. Whoa, 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 buddy. That's right. They're at the surface now. They're not underground in a bunker. They're out in the wild, infecting things, turning them into mushrooms too, conforming them into a part of the hive mind. It was terrifying to think about. The world that I loved, the area that I loved, was slowly being eaten from the inside out. But it wasn't that bad. It was just one guy. It's not like there's a whole nest around me. Day 4 through day 8, I didn't do much. I explored quite a bit and found this nice purple tree biome. But other than that, nothing really interesting happened. Just me expanding my base and even adding an underground zone so that way I have a little bit more room. I also am planning to expand the back of the house, or, well, I already did. I have an anvil location and a nice little fence and porch around my base. I needed to get a little bit of extra wood, so I added a composter so that way I can easily get some bone meal and other things. Because for the most part, I wasn't going to have enough of the color that I wanted to be able to make my base look pretty nice. I also found some industrial hemp. But it was getting pretty dark and it was about to be day 9, so I decided to go to bed anyways. Day 9, a chicken came across onto my lawn and, well, I had to teach him a little bit of a lesson. Anyways, as you can see, my base looks pretty nice now. It's nice, beautiful, and it's pretty cozy. And I really did make it more like my home. I also couldn't put the feather or the chicken inside of the composter, but I could put some bread in there, which was, now that I think about it, a really bad idea because now I'm low on bread and other food. Throughout day 9, I simply worked on my basement a little bit more, so that way I had a little bit more space to make an enchantment room, and even a room that I could put my smelter and cooker and furnace without it taking up too much space upstairs. Finishing half of my basement, the day was beginning to end. But I wasn't done yet. I wanted to get a little bit more materials and also explore my surroundings a little bit more. So I decided to go into this cave area. Now this cave is not the ravine outside of my base, but it's a cave that I wanted to explore for a little bit. And so I went inside, and I also saw something horrible. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. That is so much infected. They're alerting. I need to go. I need to get out of here as fast as possible. I can't tell where I'm going. I'm being shot in my spine, and there's like 1,200 zombies. Now, obviously, there weren't 1,200 zombies, but the amount of zombies that were there was insane, and it spelt doom for my home. That means that this virus is rapidly spreading, faster than I could even comprehend. There was so many enemies, and they were continuing to hunt me throughout this entire cave experience. I eventually left the cave, but not without precaution. Having killing a little bit of mutants, I headed back home and started day 10. I was already afraid of what was to come, but I felt that I would do all right. I spotted another cave, and I paused just to take a deep breath, just to prepare myself, just in case something bad was going to happen. It wasn't too far off from my base. It actually was right under my base, pretty much, and it was a pretty deep cave. I descended in the cave, not expecting anything too crazy to happen. I actually went this direction instead because I felt this direction would be better. I saw interesting things, including that weird red thing, and I think I saw a mutant down there as well. Having the choice to either be blown up by 20 creepers and shot by millions of skeletons, or being contorted and turned into a fungal mass of flesh and bones and suffering, I chose the first option. and immediately regretted it, so I jumped into the cavern with the mutants. Having descended into that cavern, I didn't see as many mutants this time, and I saw a beautiful skulk biome. Still had shriekers and other things, but it was beautiful, especially with the shaders I had on. After saying no to the shriekers, I got attacked by a heavily armored skeleton, and also found this cool raw redstone biome, which was a part of a mod, but it was pretty cool looking. And it wasn't flesh like I expected it to be, or anything gross. It was just redstone, and it was pretty nice to see a break from the constant gray stone that I was seeing. Passing this gray redstone biome thing, I saw a mutant. And, well, the skeleton decided to attack the mutant for some reason, and it was kind of funny and humorous. I did also see some iron, which I didn't grab, but I saw something terrifying. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I found out where they're coming from. Oh God. What? Ow! Jesus Christ. Holy jeez. Holy jeez. How? Stop shooting me, skeleton. You're in grave danger, don't you see? No, he doesn't. He cares about shooting me. Come on. My axe broke. 'Cause of course it has. Oh great. What am I supposed to hit it with? A brick? Oh good, I'm trying to die. Kill me. That's a serious statement, please. You're not helping. That's right. There was a giant nest forming almost directly under my base, my home. I immediately knew that something bad was going to happen, but put it off, considering that I didn't see any hivemind or anything. So I set out into the night, crafting a new axe and a new pickaxe just in case. I knew I had to kill that flesh mount. I knew I had to defeat it before it turned into anything worse. I passed a couple of mutants and into the cave where the infection began. I looked around, but no matter where I looked, no matter how hard I looked, the mound wasn't there. I was too late. It hid away from me, and now it was going to turn into something much worse. Now that it knows I discovered it, it's going to try to grow faster, stronger, until eventually it engulfs everything I know and love. After getting thrown off the side of a cliff, I respawned at my base. I had a couple of stuff from the biomass that I destroyed and the mutants that I slaughtered, but really, there was nothing else I could do. I didn't know it was going to come. I thought this was the end of it. I thought that maybe I would be able to burn it, but no. These things are okay with the heat. The only thing that kills them is the cold. But it didn't add up. It was in a cold biome, in a cave. Is the cave warmer? I don't exactly know. I set out to find a village. I was going to take the materials, and maybe it was going to help me a little bit more. I grabbed water and just headed out. After telling or putting in a command to tell me how far away a village was, I found one. I didn't know how to use the coordinates thing, so I just traveled in whichever direction in that amount of blocks until I found it. I took all their lanterns as a building material and pretty much robbed them of every material. I mainly came here for bookshelves, so that way I can craft some more bookshelves for my enchantment table. Dodging the danger throughout the night, I got back to my base and immediately went to bed, starting day 12. I ended up successfully making an enchantment room with a couple of enchantments, but I didn't place the enchanting table until a little bit later. After enchanting quite a bit of my stuff, I went into the spore section so I can find out maybe if there is something I could slow down the infection with. And then I saw this, a cryogenic dispensing unit. And to craft it, I needed a compound plate. Sounded easy, correct? Until I found out that I needed compound. And to get compound, you need to make amethyst dust and sugar dust to get compound. And to get amethyst dust, you need a crusher to crush amethyst shards. And you also need a mechanical mixer, a basin, and a whole load of other stuff. To craft a mechanical mixer, I needed plates, which means I needed a crusher. Which means I needed to make pretty much almost a whole factory just to craft one thing. I now had a goal, to craft a cryogenic dispensing unit before day 100, in order to slow the spread and reclaim my base, before that thing gets worse. I noticed that mutants were more prevalent, and that they were even killing Endermen, due to the fact that I found an Ender Pearl in the middle of nowhere. And when I turned around... What the frick? What the frick? I know, I'm not tripping. Holy crap, I'm being ganged up on. That's right. Some of those mutants can turn invisible. And I actually found a little bit more of them when I went this direction. I found out that the thing that can turn invisible can also break through blocks, meaning that if they really wanted to, they can break into my house if they found me. This is also really bad considering the fact that the mutations are increasing. The fungus, if I do say so myself, has evolved and is rapidly growing, and so I immediately set out, got a little bit more iron to repair my tools because I was running out. I was pretty terrified. Knowing that they couldn't go in the cold, I went in the cold anyways, but I know that if they really wanted to, they could follow me in here. They just don't spawn in here as often. I was traveling back home, and then I got a weird effect. I got an effect called madness, which was extremely bad. If you don't know what that means that a proto-hivemind has spawned. A proto-hivemind is one of the points of no return. You can stop it by using a cryogenic dispensing unit, but it'll be much tougher to get inside. That means that it's too late. It's growing way too much and way too fast. But I didn't know this yet, obviously, which is why I still slept in my base. Also, a couple days prior, I had a weird message, and all it said was endure. I didn't know this at the time, but that message means that the proto-hivemind has spawned, which means if I was just a little bit smarter and looked it up, I would have known that it was already there. But now that I have an early clue onto what's going on, I knew that I needed to move out as fast as possible. It's taking my base, and there's nothing I can do to stop it. I immediately grabbed everything. I left, ran towards the nearest river, and swam, slid, and got away as fast as possible until I came up to an island. A beautiful island. It was an orchard. And, well, I gotta say, it was a pretty nice looking orchard. And, well, it looked pretty safe. and there was barely any mobs and especially no mutants so far, with the exception of a dungeon right next to where I built. After searching around for a little while, I found a nice spot to build a base. I was still very somber, angry, and upset. After all, the fungal infection, it took everything from me. My base, my home, everything that I've ever worked for, immediately erased. I had to start almost from scratch if I hadn't grabbed my stuff in time. I would have to go back there, reclaim my old base. I would have to tell the virus, stop it, and remove it from this world once and for all. I reclaimed my bed and went over to my little camp area to where I can build. I saw that the day was slowly coming to an end and it was about to be day 17. I'm almost a quarter of the way done, I thought. But no, I was in fact far from it. I would have to kill that infection before the 100 days was over. Now we're gonna cue the building montage. I finally finished my base. I was proud. I picked myself back up and put myself back together again. I felt unstoppable. Like anything I do wouldn't even amount to how successful I had been. How much I'd survived and flourished in this new biome, this new island. I should have searched for this sooner, right? I made one mistake, however. I made a top of the roof with a fence around it, so that way I can go up to the top on nights to just check out what was around me, but I didn't put a trapdoor above it. I was gonna regret that later, but for now, it was the calm before the storm. I felt amazing. On the morning of day 18, I figured that I should learn a bit of these create mod stuff. After all, I needed to make a mini factory just so that way I can get some of this material, so that way I can make the cryogenic dispensing unit. I took a look at myself. Me, Glebe, in another dimension, fending off fungus, but somehow always picking myself back up again. I was exceedingly proud of myself. I did so amazing after all, and, well, now it was time to find out and work on the cure. After learning a little bit from the Create mod after pondering for a while, I figured out that I needed to put this compressing machine and I needed a lever and a couple of gears to be able to turn it, which actually wasn't that hard. What was difficult for me was because I didn't know that the big gears can only go on a 90-degree angle from each other, which was fine. I wasn't too upset about that. I did overly complicate it though by putting so many gears that the torque was a little bit slow, but it's fine, I guess. I did fix it eventually. All I needed was a lever and one good gear. I took some iron ingots towards this machine right here so that I can compress them into iron sheets, which I was going to need to make a whisk. The whisk is an important part of the, mixer in order for me to get that compound I wanted. I also needed some sugarcane, which I ended up finding around the island anyways. On day 19, I finished creating my mechanical mixer, building it, and was pretty ready and happy with the result. All I needed now was to make a giant crushing machine in order to be able to crush the amethyst shards I was going to have to find, but I got a little bit more andesite alloy so that way I can make a bunch more stuff. Andesite alloy is really important, especially for levers and stuff like that. I needed to actually craft that first, however. Anyways, I then went to bed after that because nothing really productive happened except for me figuring out how to stop it from being a little bit weak. Like that. I didn't want it to be too overstressed. Day 20 happened and I was really tired, and so I hopped off Minecraft for the day. The next morning in real life, I hopped back on to day 20, right back where I left off, and, well, I kind of ran around. I crafted a couple of gears and such so that way I can easily craft a little bit more of my create mod so that way I can hurry up and get this cure out and about. I did look at my beautiful trumpet trees and stare at the beautiful sunset. It was gorgeous, and, well, I was pretty safe. Lagging just a little bit, I killed a skeleton that was extra floaty for some reason. Almost died from a creeper, but things were going well. After that, all I did the entire day was look around for sugar cane so that way I can make sugar. But I got home and realized something. What is that over there? No, 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 don't tell me. Go away, skeleton. You're not getting in here. Stop trying. Oh, god dang it. I don't have iron. Right? Oh, god dang it. Oh no. Get away! They're burning. Nice. You good for nothing bone sacks? Don't take that out of context either. Where's my bread? Oh yeah, I ate it all. Okay. Dude, come on. Come at me, man. No, 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 no. This can't be happening. Not here. I just escaped. No, God, no, 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 no. I just escaped this place. Oh, God. That's right. Not even a week in to this island, the fungal infection already found me. It caught up, and this time it was closer. It was determined to remove me from every single place on Earth. I was convinced that it was the end, so I grabbed everything I possibly could and got out of there as fast as possible. I didn't be able to get the mixer yet because some giant creature killed me and I spawned in that snow biome again. That horrible snow biome because I had broken my bed at the time. Day 21 to day 22, I looked for another home. That horrible snow biome, the bitter cold getting to me. I was losing my mind. I was so tired of this fungal infection taking over everything I known and loved. My beautiful base, my orchard, all of it gone in the matter of days. Minutes searching for a new place. I finally found a forest to settle down, bunker down in. Not much. It's not perfect, but it's temporary. That thing is gonna come back and bite me later, which means I won't even have the time to stay here anyways. I have to always stay on the run. I have to always keep myself on the move. Otherwise it's gonna catch up to me, and it's going to consume me. Just like everything else, I don't want to become part of that mass. I was calmer. Day 22 all the way to day 24, I was chilling. I was just building. I had finally finished a bunker, just in case if it got on the surface, I would be able to dig myself far enough away, hopefully. I was scared. I knew that that thing was going to come back, and I knew that I didn't have enough time. I had to hurry up and get that cure before anything worse happened. I hurried and built my machines. I built a new mixer, and I feared for the future. The next day I built the whisk. It was comforting to build something I was working forward to. It was nice and comfortable here. It was rainy, but it wasn't too bad. I didn't see any mutants around, but I was sure that they were underneath me at all times. I was finally safe. Hello everybody, it's me, Gleep. I hope you enjoyed part 1 of my 100-day infection challenge. I'm gonna try to focus more on raw footage next time around because I felt like voice acting and voiceovering this entire video was kind of time consuming and very boring for you guys. You guys didn't get to see everything that happened. Now obviously you guys got to see the really crazy things that happened and the interesting things like the bunker, the tower, and the infection spreading. But without further ado, I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I had a lot of fun making it, and part 2 will be out as soon as I can. Bye bye!